Hey y'all. So, happy Tuesday. I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to get in here, and then we're going to jump right into the topic for tonight or whatever. So, hopefully everybody is doing well and having a good Tuesday. All right. So, y'all, hey, Bori. Hey, Mr. Woosall. Thank you. If y'all here, make sure you let me know that you're here. Hey, Uber guy. How are you? So I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to get in here. So, yeah. So, y'all, something is going on with my air conditioning. So, somebody will be here to fix it soon. So, if y'all hear, like, commotion and stuff, just know, that's what it is. Hey, Rael. So I got a little Beyonce fan going on right now. Y'all probably can't see it moving my hair because I don't have it up too high. I didn't know if it was going to be loud or not. But let me know if y'all can hear it and if it's distracting. Hey, Levon. Hey, Hammond boy. So I'm just going to give everybody a few minutes to come in, y'all, so we can jump right into this topic. I came across some information that I wanted to share with you guys that I really didn't feel like the media was really talking about or, giving its due justice. So, that's why I'm here. So we will be talking about that. Whatever. Please focus, Mr. Wusa. Hey, the writer. How are you? All right, y'all. So I want to talk about these two Black women in Louisiana. Black women in Louisiana and Democrats who are promoting and pushing the anti-abortion bill or whatever. So I really want to talk about this, y'all. So I ended up coming across the video, and guess who did the video? Vice News, surprisingly. So I've noticed lately that I feel like Vice News is maybe trying to get back a little bit towards what they were originally meant to be, or at least what I thought, which was supposed to be presenting stuff that was different, from the mainstream media or whatever, and offering like different perspectives and stuff like that, and more of a balance. So I do think with everything that's been going on with the media, I feel like Vice is trying to do a little bit better. I feel like Vice is trying to do a little bit better, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, all right, so let's start by checking out. I want y'all to see. Thank you, Truth Seeker. I want y'all to see a little bit of this video from Vice so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Levon, what state are you in again? Levon said he heard it on the radio. All right, let's watch this.
Was supposed to vote today on an amendment to the state's constitution that would specifically say there is no constitutional right in the state to an abortion. It was one of two anti-abortion bills brought to the Louisiana House today. Both are part of a broad wave of legislation that states across the country have passed in recent months, in anticipation of the Supreme Court potentially overturning Roe v. Wade. A so-called heartbeat bill passed today. The constitutional amendment.
Y'all notice all these all these publications keep saying a so-called heartbeat bill. I just think that's funny. It's like, y'all know I told y'all about these trigger words and stuff they use, these terms they use, so everybody starts like repeating them. They did the same thing with the wall. It was something that they always used to say about the wall. I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna think of it in a second. But so same little words that they try to just throw out there, so people, you hear it enough times, you'll start to repeat it. So this is a recurring theme, this so-called heartbeat bill. Yeah, buzzwords.
Didn't. That's because, for strategic reasons, the sponsor of the amendment, State Representative Katrina Jackson, pulled it from the floor.
Members, I am moving to reject consent amendments. I need to look at the date of this and some amendments that were added and some that was discussed in the Senate that were not.
If it had been passed today, the constitutional change would have ended up on the ballot this October. Jackson wants it to be voted on in November 2020 instead.
The amendments are rejected.
It was an example of Jackson balancing the fact that she is staunchly anti-abortion against the fact that she's also a Democrat.
I'm going to put it in what we call conference committee to add the amendment that pro-life Democrats on the Senate and non-pro-life Democrats on the Senate attempted to add, and that's to have this vote to go down during the presidential election.
As in the referendum on the ballot.
Right, the referendum on the ballot. And let me tell you why. Presidential election is one of the higher voter turnout in Louisiana. And I am always concerned that what I do does not impact my colleagues' elections, that I don't skew the elections to be one-sided based on what I believe, that I give everyone a free chance to run and their constituents to vote.
Are you saying you think if it were on the October ballot, it could hurt other Democrats?
It could hurt or help. I think it'll help the pro-life Democrats, but at the same time, it may hurt other Democrats, and it may, have an impact negatively or positively on someone's election. Of course, I think it'll help my election, but it's not all about me.
Jackson seems like kind of the perfect message unicorn for the anti-abortion side. Black, female, Democrat. Though she's not the only one in the Louisiana legislature. But while Jackson may be willing to play the political game, she's unwilling to compromise her moral vision.
I tell people I'm a Christian first. I've always been very blunt about it when I ran for election. I remember even my mom saying, Katrina, we love the Lord, but do you think this is going to resonate? I said, Mom, I don't care. I want people to know who I am because I want them to know who they're electing. And so I tell people before I'm black, white, I'm a female, I am Christian. And a large portion of my district, a majority of my district agrees with that, and they're Christian. An overwhelming majority. And so I don't not only represent me and fighting for life, I represent the district.
Should your Christianity...
All right, so I'll drop that below so y'all can go back and watch the full thing. I just wanted to give you a kind of like just a basic, view of what's going on here. So I figured it out. And hey, Monteith, I think that's how you said it. But I figured it out. It was NPC. They were saying, they started calling the border wall a vanity wall. Remember? Vanity wall, vanity wall, vanity wall. Like all the politicians were saying it. You'll see it in every article. So this is the same thing they'll do here with like a so-called heartbeat bill, a so-called invasion, or these other words, these other buzzwords that they use or whatever. But so while you had the governor of Alabama, Kay Ivey, going viral, everybody, shame on her, how dare her, and you had these other people, men shouldn't decide on women's bodies, men should have no say-so. First it started off like that, right? Men should have no say-so over women's bodies, this and the other. And then when it came out about Kay Ivey, the Alabama governor who signed the anti-abortion bill, then it changed to shame on her, she should know better, how could she do this as a woman, blah 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 blah. So while she was going viral and everybody was talking about the white men and the white woman that were trying to control the bodies of the South, or whatever you want to call it, everybody that signed these anti-abortion laws, the heartbeat bill, okay? Let me show y'all other people that were advocating for these same laws that don't get the representation in the media. You're not going to see her all over Instagram. You're not going to see her all over Facebook. You're not going to see her all over the news. You're going to have maybe one or two news sources that are going to cover this. Why? Because we know it does not fit the agenda. Like I said, a Black woman, Democrat, that's like 3 strikes you out. I mean, let's be real. But anyway, okay. So this is from the MonroeFreePress.net, okay? So this is the young lady that we just saw, Katrina Jackson, Representative Katrina Jackson with the House in Louisiana. So anti-abortion fight in Louisiana includes area female legislators. Wednesday, the Louisiana legislature approved a law that makes it virtually illegal to perform abortion in the state unless the life of the mother is threatened. While many women across the country say abortion is a woman's choice, the fight against abortion in Louisiana includes women and some who are members of the Democratic Party. Representative Katrina Jackson and Representative Pat Moore are examples of women who consider themselves whole life, Democrats who support the right to life inside and outside of the womb. Both women legislators voted for Wednesday's abortion ban. Both Jackson and Moore. Now here go Miss good old Pat Moore right here. Another Black woman, okay? Both Jackson and Moore represent areas of North Louisiana described as the state's Bible Belt. Jackson, a Baptist, and Moore, a Church of Christ member, both have deep-seated religious beliefs that compel them to stay in step with God, even if it means being out of step with the national platform of the Democratic Party. Both denominations teach members that the Bible is literally God's written word, and it teaches that no one has the right to take life except God himself. So this basically just goes on to talk about those two. I will also link this below, but I definitely just wanted to show y'all what these women look like, okay? So you have Miss Pat Moore and you have Representative Katrina Jackson. Now let's just look a little bit more at Katrina Jackson. Hey, Gab. So this is Katrina Jackson, okay? She's a lawyer from Monroe, Louisiana, who is a Democrat, departing member of the Louisiana House of Representatives for District 16, which includes Morehouse and Ochita Parish. I guess that's how you say that. Jackson earned a bachelor's degree from University of Louisiana at Monroe and Juris Doctor from the Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge. Okay, so Jackson was elected to the State House in 2011. She serves on the Agriculture, Forestry, Aquaculture, and Rural Development Committee, the Commerce Committee, the Health and Welfare Committee, the Appropriations Committee, the Committee on Joint Budget, and the House Executive Committee. Jackson is a member of the Louisiana Legislative Women's Caucus and the Louisiana Rural Caucus, and is the head of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, okay? So this woman is literally a member of the Women's Caucus, the Rural Caucus, and the head of the Black Caucus. So this is not some just any old body that we're talking about, okay? Very educated, has a lot of power in Louisiana. So, And this is from Vice News. I just want to read this part right here because I want y'all to know that some of the things that she stands for. So almost every issue, Louisiana State Representative Katrina Jackson is a typical Democrat. She recently voted to do away with the death penalty. She fought for medical expansion in the state. She believes in the use of contraception. But on the issue of abortion, Jackson is the anti-abortion movement's messaging unicorn, a Black female Democrat from the South that is unapologetically fighting to end abortions in her state, okay? So, y'all see, you see what we have here. Very little coverage. I mean, literally little to none. I think they talked about some of the news sources picked up the fact that it was a Democratic governor that also signed this bill. Hey, Michael. Okay. Democratic governor in Louisiana. I always talk about this, my struggle with the media has always presented it to me like, you know, Democrats have to vote every issue this way. Republicans have to vote every issue this way. And I've always found that problematic because I'm like, do you have no differing ideas, opinions? What if you live in a more conservative area or a more liberal area? Hey, Joseph, what about your constituents? So to me, these are the stories that people need to see. I would have had no clue had I not seen this on Vice News. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Because I've told y'all about this, how the media loves to parrot and promote this idea that Black people are the same, we're monolithic, we think the same on every single issue across the board, and it's just not true. And that's exactly why you're not going to see this story on your CNNs, on your MSNBCs. They're not going to invite her to the Breakfast Club. They're not going to talk about her on the Shade Room, okay? And media takeout. You're not going to see it because what they want to do is continue this, us against them, or you're either with us or you're not. Or, this whole kumbaya, we have to agree on every certain issue. You don't have certain ideas and agendas that you feel like may be more beneficial to you and some that are not. And I really think that does the American people a disservice. And the type of media like this is exactly how I got to the point that I am now. This is exactly how them doing stuff like this, not giving us balanced perspectives and saying, hey, there are other people out here that we're not only representing you with people that look like you, right? We also want representation of diversity of thought. And I think that's so important. We need more of that. Hey, Helena. Exactly. Royal Ryan said it's sad because no one group is the same, so people need to use their own head. The media is poisonous. So the whole time that Instagram and Facebook was trying to make you think that this was a race issue and it was all the white men trying to hold women's rights back, you literally had a female governor of Alabama that signed this bill, and then you had these Black women who were not being put on the forefront but are doing work and making headways in their state, okay? So I want to tell y'all a little bit more about, let me see. So the vote ended up being, this is in Louisiana, the House vote ended up being 79-23 with over 12 Democrats voting for this bill. 79-23, like that's a big difference, okay? And like I said, the Democratic governor also signed this into legislation. All right, so and then I wanted to show y'all about her district because it's easy for people to make assumptions, and this is why I have to go and find more information, because I get curious, because I'm like, well, who the heck is she representing? You know what I mean? So this is Morehouse Parish in Louisiana. And the demographics, the racial makeup of the parish is 55.76% white, 43.36% black, okay? And then you have 0.13% Native American, 0.18% Asian, okay? So there is a large black population there. I mean, that's almost half, literally. Half the population is what the media likes to call people of color, okay? Let's look at, I think this is Ochita. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Demographics. And the other parish she represents is 64.48% white, 33.63% black, 0.23 Native percent American, 0.64 Asian. So that is also, I mean, that's 1/3 of the population there. So, you know, she's representing a, I mean, that's a big group of black people that she's representing. And so these were some comments that she made according to thehill.com. Jackson defended the Democrats who backed the measure. I think abortion mitigates our racist voting power. It hurts our racist power in the census. I really consider it to be modern day genocide. Jackson, an African-American woman, told NBC News for a story released Tuesday. I mean, that's some strong language right there coming from a black politician. Like, you don't really see that. You know what I mean? And the fact that this isn't a bigger story, or at least add some balance to the narrative that we have been seeing, to me, is a disservice and is puzzling. I want to believe it's puzzling, but I mean, we know how these people are. But anyway, I also want to show y'all this. So this was from The Advocate. So anti-abortion stance puts Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards at odds with much of Democratic base. So progressive Democrats in Louisiana, particularly women, are furious at Governor John Bel Edwards for signing an extreme anti-abortion bill. Now, I want y'all to look at this language, right? This is being called extreme anti-abortion bill. Now, I would say extreme is subjective. I would say it's subjective, because when this started happening and all of these different states started passing these bills, I was taken aback, okay? Because this is not anything like we've seen since Roe versus Wade. But to put things into perspective here, when I covered the freaking late term abortion bill, I covered this. None of the articles were calling the bill extreme, literally able to, infanticide, able to, you really can't even say in the pregnancy, really in the life. I don't know if you want to call it straight out murder, but people trying to talk their way around the fact of deciding if a baby born alive should have the right to live. And y'all have the gall, every article, and if y'all listen to these I'm about to say newscasters, these pundits and talking heads, right? They're gonna completely refer to this bill as extreme, but not the one for late. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, okay, you know what? Because I'm about to. Okay, so a development that could cause problems for the governor as he runs for re-election this fall. Until now, Edwards could count on these progressive Democrats to be strong supporters as he seeks to win re-election in the October 12th primary of the November 16th runoff. These voters comprise as much as 20% of the electorate, according to surveys. But now the Democratic governor is facing a backlash from many of his loyal supporters after signing a bill that will outlaw abortion as soon as a heartbeat is detected, about 6 weeks into pregnancy, even before many women know they're pregnant, with no exceptions in the rare cases where pregnancies result from rape or incest. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I just wanted to get to this part of what some of these other politicians were saying. And no, this same governor did expand Medicaid, okay? And Katrina, the representative Katrina Jackson, also is against the death penalty. But anyway, so where is it? So this is just some people's responses. Nia Weeks is executive director of Citizenship United. I had conversations where some women can't see much difference between him and a Republican candidate, said Weeks. Others have said he's the best bet we have and point to the criminal justice package, which ended Louisiana's status as the biggest incarcerator nationally on per capita basis and a Medicaid expansion. The reactions are very visceral, but I don't know how much of it will reflect where people will land in a few months. There were also some statements from maybe it wasn't in this article, but basically you had people like Kamala Harris and somebody else, some other politician that was basically like, this shouldn't happen. That's not how you represent the Democrats, and we have to vote these people out, and this and the other. It might have been in a different article. But basically coming from him saying, he's not a good representative of the party and stuff like this. Thank you so much, Valdez. But my thing is, if he's a representative, he or she, okay, Pat Moore, Katrina Jackson, the governor, I just said his name, I forgot it that quick. if they are representative of their constituents, if they are representative of the people living in their district and the values of their district, what say do you have? This is literally what we hire these people for. I say hire because they're paid through our taxes. We vote them in to represent us. And so if this lady is telling you, well, a lot of my district feels this way, and these are the people that I'm representing, then so be it. These other politicians in these other states, it has nothing to do with you. And so things like this and a lack of representation in the media is absolutely how I've gotten to the point that I have, because I'm like, you know, I agree with y'all on some issues, but some of these issues, it's just not lining up. And they've made it, we're literally already at a point, and it's getting worse, to like, if you disagree or have any pushback or any type of thought compared to what's in a mainstream media, you are literally like ostracized, honestly. And that's why the media is not going to cover this story with the type of balance that they would these other narratives, right? Because they want to continue the narrative that, oh, only old white men feel this way. It's only old white men. Old white men are trying to rule your body, trying to govern your body. And you literally have a 40-something-year-old, I think 42-year-old Black woman Democrat that just happens to line up on this issue. And so oh my God, it's just really annoying. And honestly, I'm to the point where I think like progressives should have their own party and not be beholden to Democrats, because this is what happens. I feel like now what's going to happen is it's going to get to a point where they're going to say, if you don't align with us on every single issue, every single point that we have, hey, George, if you don't align with us on every single talking point, every single issue, you're out. And then what happens? It leaves a lot of people like me in the balance, because I'm looking like, well, what about me? Where do I belong? So I think for people to see this, I think it's important. I think it's important. The media wants to continue this narrative, and they want everybody to believe that you're not going to really, certainly not routinely, okay, see Black people in mainstream media standing up for gun rights, anti-abortion, any type of anything that even hints at the fact that you have any differences with LGBTQ, anything that hints at the fact that you are against illegal immigration. You're not going to see these Black people in the media. You're not going to see it, because, of course, all of us are a monolith. We all think the same. We all want the same things. This is what they want us to believe. But the reason they want us to believe is so we will take up the cause of other people's issues. And it will become this us versus them mentality. When in fact, sometimes I might disagree with them, and sometimes I might agree with them, depending on the issue. Thank you, Kenny. He said, awesome content, always good, sister. Say bless, Rhonda M. Thank you. Hey, Cajun. But it's cool, Cajun. But this is exactly how I got to the point where I am now. Because when I really sat back and started looking at what I really think and what I really feel, I'm like, but that's not really representative of me. Really. I mean, when I just really think about what's important to me, what I want to see, what the TV is telling me, you have to care about this. You have to be down with this. Oh, you a black woman? Oh, of course you believe in this. Of course you do. I mean, duh. Couldn't have it any other way. And I just started to feel alienated and ostracized. And when you say, well, I have some questions about this, I have some concerns about this, you get pushed back. Then all of a sudden, I was supposed to be the protected person, the golden child, the face of every agenda they want to push. But now all of a sudden, I'm the bigot because I have concerns. And so all the bad words that they would use against these other people, right, would now turn against me. Because the moment you don't line up dead on with every single issue, every single talking point, now all of a sudden you are also part of the problem. Hey, Esau. All right, sir. So I will try to continue to highlight these type of stories because this is important for us to see. I want people to know that you are not the only one out there. Hey, Black introvert. You are not the only one out there that thinks or feels like you. And I'm sure everybody is not going to agree with me. And even if you don't agree with my position, I'm gonna steal one of the TV's media's word. But nonetheless, even if you don't agree with my position, this is still a safe space for you to share your opinions without being attacked. Thank you, Manny. Because we don't always have to agree. Hey, Black Panther, we don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree. But for all the people who write me and say, oh my God, like I feel the same way as you, or I think the same way, or I agree, or, I'm glad you're saying what I can't say. Oh my God, Cajun, I was late too. I was telling everybody that my hair is being fixed right now. So that's why y'all probably see my hair blowing maybe a little bit. I don't know. It's not on high, but so I was late too. I didn't even put it in description. And I'm not even gonna be on here long either. I'm sorry. But for the people out there who maybe look like me or don't even look like me and feel like the diversity of thought is lacking in the media and feeling like, you're either in or out. You know what I mean? You have to check all these boxes or none at all. This is a safe place for you. I invite you here. Because it's really gotten to the point where it's like it's just too much. Thank you, Black Panther. I'm actually wrapping up. Thank you. He said don't know the topic, but it sounds good. And so it's happening out here, y'all. It's happening out here. Hey, Alan. It's happening out here. And that's why YouTube is such an important space. And what YouTubers provide is such an important space. And that's why I really try to be authentic for sure, because these are my actual thoughts, but at the same time give a different platform and a different look to what it means to be a Black woman. Because what you always see in the media is not always true. And what does it matter? What does it matter if you have 100 TV shows of Black people and Black networks if they're all acting and thinking the same? What does it matter? What good does that do anybody? If I still watch and I'm like, okay, yeah, she kind of looks like me, but I don't know about that. So hopefully some people will relate to that, and I will continue to try to do that when I see these stories. And I'm not saying that I agree with this. For everybody that's just coming in, I was talking about these 2 Black women Democrats who were pushing and promoting the anti-abortion heartbeat bill in Louisiana. And the media barely covered it because, of course, that does not fit the narrative of what Black women are supposed to be, right? And even though I don't necessarily agree with everything that woman was saying in that interview, I mean, regardless of the fact, I appreciate the fact that people are taking strides to go against the grain and not always line up with party and not say, well, I look like this, so I have to vote like this. I look like this, so I have to act like this, okay? I could really appreciate that. So the more that I see that, I will always try to bring these stories to the forefront so people know, hey, if you're feeling this way about something, you are not alone. Because honestly, y'all, even for me, right? I felt something calling me to talk about this stuff that wasn't sitting right with me. But honestly, YouTube actually opened my eyes to so many different type of people, even more so. Thank you, Alan. But YouTube really just opened my eyes, and it gave me the opportunity to reach out to more people, network with more people who I felt like were not only looked like me, but we also had similar thoughts, similar beliefs, similar curiosities. Because I just was not seeing it on TV. I was not seeing that representation. I was not seeing that any type of pushback, any type of questions. It was like this mainstream narrative. This is it. This is the narrative. This is how you have to feel. This is the right way. This is the progressive way. And some of that stuff I just wasn't lining up on. And I got tired of feeling alienated. And so once I got on YouTube, it created this space where, dang, I was getting really good feedback. And I'm like, okay, so other people do feel like this. Other people do think like this. So, but yeah, y'all. So I just wanted to talk about that. But like I said, I would definitely keep trying to bring stories like this to the forefront to let people know you're not always alone. Like I was saying earlier with the lady, I don't particularly believe in people. I got what she was saying. If y'all were here when I was showing the Vice News clip when she was talking about like why she was anti-abortion as a Democrat and stuff like this. And I didn't necessarily agree with her thought that, okay, I should just do this because of my Christian beliefs. I don't think it has to be limited to religion. But I think you have to represent your district, represent your constituents. But I also think that we are a big country of a lot of different people, and you also represent not only Christians, and I don't think it has to be relegated to just your religion. If you literally do it just on a basis of science, right? And literally just talking about the heartbeat bill, I personally think that will resonate more with people if you empower women on the front end and say, okay, do you really know like the procedure for abortion, how it works, who is impacting the most, who they are promoting and marketing to, how many lives, fetuses, whatever you want to call it, are taken each year, how this impacts the number of the Black population. Even if you just look at the fact of a heartbeat, okay? That in itself should resonate with people because Christian, Muslim, Jew, atheist, agnostic, we can all resonate with the fact that a heartbeat signifies some type of life, right? And you don't have to be Christian to understand that. So like I said, I cannot agree with everything she says and still find value in what she's doing, or, you know, kind of going with her own values and not falling into the trap of, okay, I have to vote this way because I look like this, or I have to vote this way because I'm a Democrat or I'm in this box or whatever. But so those are my thoughts. I definitely want to talk to y'all about that. Thank y'all for joining me. You know, I am here every Tuesday around this time, somewhere around this time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up so this video will get out. Y'all know YouTube really likes to suppress my views. They will like unsubscribe people and stuff like that. Because like I said, they, you know, I don't fit the description of, you know, the mainstream, what it's supposed to be, how I'm supposed to think. So y'all know that'll get some pushback, but hopefully we'll see some changes. We'll see some changes with that soon enough, or whatever, with everything that's going on with like Google and Facebook and all that, and these lawsuits. So hopefully this will be straightened out soon for my other YouTubers in the room. Thank y'all for supporting me, but also with them as well. Hopefully we'll see some changes with how YouTube is doing these algorithms and stuff like this. But anyway, so thank y'all for the super chats. Thank y'all for joining me. I will try to make more videos this week, and I will be back for live on next Tuesday. And my birthday is next week. Hey. But I'm definitely going to be here with y'all still. So, but all right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Bye.